Most people don't realize how much of their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making millions pulling details about you from public records and the internet, then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might just sell credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/hidden. Protect yourself now at aura.com/hidden.
Welcome to Seeing with Your Soul, the podcast aimed to inspire you to find your voice and become the best, truest, and most authentic version of yourself. Spiritually intimate soul-to-soul conversations, life-changing insights, and spiritual teaching and healing. Real, raw, unfiltered. Join your host, Tisha Michelle.
Welcome back to another episode of Seeing with Your Soul. For those that are new around here, I am your host, Tisha Michelle. Hello. All right, so around here on Seeing with Your Soul podcast, I always love to start off by expressing gratitude. So in this present moment, I would definitely have to say that I am grateful for air conditioning. Yes. The AC, the air conditioning, the coolness, right? All right. My AC in my place here in Arizona, broke, right? Mad disrespectful. So it's freaking 94 degrees in my place and 108 outside. So as I'm recording this intro right now, I'm in a hotel and I am taking in all of this air conditioning. Yes. Yo, I don't know about you guys, but it's something about being hot. That shit is miserable. Like, I can't do anything. Like, I feel like I can't do anything. Don't talk to me. I can't think. I can't function. I'm super annoyed, and there's just like no reason to be that freaking hot. None at all. So, they did come to check it out, but they're going to have to get a vendor because apparently it's a big deal or whatever. So anyway, I'm in a hotel and I'm actually not going to complain. So my daughter spent the night at her friend's house. And so it's just me. And if you listen to my last podcast episode where I talk about a sabbatical from your responsibilities, this was like one impromptu little sabbatical. I'm by myself. I'm in this nice hotel. I'm just looking out the window. I DoorDashed me some food. And I've just been chilling and soaking up this air conditioning. So while it sucks that, my AC is broken, I had to leave out of my place, I'm really not going to complain because I got to take advantage of just being in the hotel by myself. No mommy duties or nothing, of that sort. But definitely grateful for the air conditioning because once again, being hot, that's just stupid, to be honest, right? Being hot like that's ridiculous. 94 degrees, 94 degrees in my okay, let me stop rambling about that. I'm grateful for the air conditioning. All right, so now it's your turn. What are you guys grateful for? Unless you're driving, I definitely want you to go ahead and close your eyes and let's get grounded. Let's get grounded together. So I want you to take a nice deep breath and I just want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Another nice deep breath and just go ahead and breathe in through your nose. And out through your mouth. Let's just do one more. Take another nice deep breath, breathing in through your nose. And out out through your mouth. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So in this present moment, what are you guys grateful for? Express that gratitude. Share, 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 and share. All right. So in today's episode, I had a conversation with Pam and Andy, who are spiritual partners, artists and healers, and the owner of the Indigo Sanctuary. Isn't the name just so dope? Like the Indigo Sanctuary. I don't know. I just really like it. All right. But Pam and Andy, they both came to spirituality the way that so many of us do, looking for peace and guidance during times of hardship, illness, and grief. And along their journey, Pam and Andy have accumulated a diverse array of practice modalities and certifications, all focused on healing the mind, body, and the planet, right? So they have certifications in Reiki, yoga, sound healing, and environmentalism. I know when it comes to like environmentalism, that has come up in like my energetic space throughout this journey that I've been on, but I haven't really figured out like where do I fit into that. But, so when it connected and I knew like they were like even a part of that and what the environment and stuff I thought was really interesting because I'm like, ooh, it's showing up for me again. It hasn't really fully unfolded to really show where I play a part in, but I'm aware and that's that level of awareness. So, I'm always open to learning different things from different people. I like how they have, going along their journey, they were, different modalities were pointed into their path and stuff too. I always tell people like healing is not a linear thing. It's not a one size fits all. It's not a straight line. It's not going to be one modality, one thing that you're going to use or that's going to work for you. It may be a whole bunch of different things. So, keep yourself, really just keep yourself open. So when Pam and Andy, they were on a trip to Nepal, they connected with, I think it's pronounced Jackie and Tosi, who eventually became like their partner curators in Nepal. And I'm super excited because they sent me a thank you gift, which was super sweet. And it was like an incense burner. And it was from Nepal. So I like own something that came from Nepal. So I just think that that's so dope. And Nepal is actually on my list of places to travel. So I'm super, super, super excited about that. But yeah, so we got to have a conversation and we talked about like healing at home and like creating like that sanctuary. We talked about the gemstones and really just all of that good stuff. So yeah, anyway, I'm done babbling. All right. So tune in now and enjoy the conversation that I had with Pam and Andy of Indigo Sanctuary. All right. So before we get into the conversation, it's the only one question that I ask any guest that's the same. In this present moment, what are you grateful for? Whoever wants to go first.
Okay. Today, I am grateful for being healthy, safe, and having a home.
Love it. Love it. What about you?
And I'm really grateful for having this conversation with you. I listened to your show and I really we both have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Aw, thank you. I received that. And it's so interesting because this is actually my first time having two guests on at a time. So thank you for being a part of it. Part of what I actually, not that what I want to do, what I will do with my network, Hag TV network, is I really just want to have conversations with more than one in person though, and have like a couple people and we're just flowing and just having like a conversation. So this is like a great feel, even though we're not in person, but it's a great feel for having more than one person to kind of like set that tone and put that energy out there. So I'm excited about that.
Great.
I always think that it's super important, like to the listeners to really understand, like, who are they listening to? Who's going to be talking to them about spirituality and healing and stuff? So if you don't mind, I would love for you to share your story in whatever part, basically what got you to here or got you to Indigo Sanctuary? Like, tell me all the details. I need to know that spiritual awakening, that shift, that thing that was just like, wait a minute, there is more to life than this.
Well, I am a yoga teacher and got to teaching because I was really burnt out. I had been a student for many years and I had a teacher that said to me, Pam, you should teach. I, at the time, was caring for my mother and I had small children. And I really didn't know where I was, who I was. I was just very burnt out. And she said, teaching would help you. And so I did that. I joined a program and got very involved and started teaching. And I enjoyed the slower types of yoga, which were really not popular at that time. But it really resonated with me. And it was very healing to me. And I could be more myself.
I tried yoga. I might have even talked about this before in the park. I'm not sure. But I was like, I want to do some yoga because to me, it just felt like that was just cool and just like badass. I'm going to do yoga. And I was like, oh no, yoga's hard. This is ridiculous. Like, I can't, I'm done. I will never do this again. But this was really kind of in the beginning of like my awakening. And it was like, oh, let me just try this. But it was so like forced. And I had to like, I was struggling to like pose. It was hard. And I was like, this is ridiculous. But as time started going, I really was going down that rabbit hole and I was really like just exploring, and then I was like, oh, there's actually more to yoga. Actually, we take it back to the original, with yoga. So it is about that stillness. So when you say that, that's what it makes me think about, now when I approach yoga, I approach it in a different way versus like, I have to be like firm at this core and I have to do this pose and I have to do that pose and that particular thing. And it's like, you know what? I like that stillness. I like that portion of it. Then when I was studying some of it, I was like, oh, okay, this makes a lot of sense. It doesn't have to be in this strict structure type of, a mode and you have to do this perfect and stuff. It's like, no, let's just be still. I just had to weave that in there between it because you made me think about that when you said that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
I wasn't much of a yoga practitioner. I was busy focusing on other things. And then I got sick and I had cancer. And I started meditating and chanting and doing a morning practice. And I found that I really needed just that wake up call, that there was more to life than just working, that I needed a quiet time. I needed a spiritual side. And I think many people are missing that in their lives. And I think that's what led us to start the Indigo Sanctuary.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just wanted to just touch on when you said, as far as getting sick and what made you say, I want to meditate? Was meditation already a part of your life or was it more of like, versus just going the route of, when we get a diagnosis of something, we go with what the doctor says and we don't really even think about anything like holistic wise?
Meditation wasn't a big part of my life. Years and years ago, I had practiced transcendental meditation and then stopped. And when I got sick, I just felt this need for some calmness, just to try and center myself a little more. And that's when I found a bigger place for it in my life.
Mm. Yeah, it's something about bringing it back to ourselves and getting into that stillness and that quiet, especially in a world that's so like chaotic and just pushes you to be busy, 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 or work, or it has to be this and it has to be that. So to be able to find that and not even just find it, but to create it, because that's what we have to do. We have to create the time, we have to create the space, for that. So, okay, so actually, there was something else you were getting ready to say and I had cut you off. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. I think Pam and I think she before and then me, we got to the point where we realized that everyone needs a home sanctuary that's safe for them and a home practice. And I think that's what prompted us to start the Indigo Sanctuary, to help people create their sanctuary and support their practice.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be yoga. Anything that you feel suits you for a whole practice. Prayer is very powerful, just as much as meditation. If it's qigong or anything,
I love how spirit works because, I got the list of the different topics that, we could definitely talk about. And I didn't tell you which one I wanted to talk about, but what I actually wrote on my paper was the home practice and the spiritual practice. So it's so funny that that you guys, you already brought it up. Okay, well, that's what I want to talk about. I think it's important, especially with like the listeners. It's like a lot of the listeners are really new in this lifetime anyway, spirituality, and they'll listen to it and stuff, but they also want that practical. They want that practical piece. So like what is it that they can do? So that's why I definitely wanted to dive in and just hear, you guys talk about just healing yourself at home, creating that spiritual practice, creating that space, and what does that look like? And just like maybe some examples, like you said, it doesn't have to be yoga because not everybody's going to want to do yoga, but like what are some things? So if we can dive into that since you don't already opened it up.
Okay.
You want to talk about our practice?
Sure.
What we do for our practice?
Yeah. We have a daily practice that it evolves. It changes and we add things to it. We try to do it every morning. So we go into our space, our sanctuary, and we start by clearing the energy in the space. And we do that by playing our Himalayan singing bowls, and it clears the energy like you would if you were to sage the room.
Yeah.
So we do that for 5 minutes and we sit quietly and we both play for each other and together. And then we start our chanting. And we do 2 different chants. And one we've been doing for about 4 years every day, and the other we've added into it. And one of them is a Hindu chant. We do it with mala beads. So we count, each bead, so it's 108 times. And the mantra we've been doing is for Ganesha. And Ganesha is the remover of obstacles.
Yes.
And it's Om Gam Ganapataya Namaha. And it helps us tap into the qualities of Ganesha, and it gets us centered for whatever's going to come in our way during the day. We're going to have to address that obstacle and work through it. So that helps. And then we do a Kundalini Kirtan Kriya, Satanama, that has chanting and finger movements with it. And those 2 could last maybe 20 to 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do some yin yoga postures, asanas. And Pam can talk more about the yin yoga part, but we do that every day.
Every day, yeah. And I know that traditional people say you should pick a certain day, like 5:30 in the morning is auspicious time before the world begins, or you should do it at like 6 o'clock. But I think for the modern day world, just doing it every day, it's wonderful. I don't think you have to be so traditional. For us, we don't have small children. Yeah, so it's easier for us to pick a time, but it's hard for people. It really is. But to try it every day. And also, if you pick a certain chant or meditation, the theory is really 40 days to stay with that practice. But honestly, I think they're saying like 20 days for the body to memorize it, because it's your body. It's moving into your body. And the body has to memorize your practice. And maybe in the beginning, let's say mindful meditation, you pick that as your meditation. In the beginning, you don't really like it. You don't know how you're going to feel like a week later. That's really the only rule, I think, is not jump around from practice to practice. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can understand that. That's kind of like with a lot of things we do in life. It's like you just want to give it a little bit of time to even see if it's working for you, in that sense, and how it makes you feel. So I can definitely get that. And again, I don't do the whole traditional route with anything as far as like, oh, I have to do it at this time. I have to do it at that time. I think that kind of throws people off some, and it kind of scares them away scares them away from even creating a practice because they're like, yeah, there's just no way that I can do that at 5:30. Like I'm tired, I already have to get up at 7 and I have this and I have that. So I think it's important, to share with people to say, your practice is your practice. Like it's what works for you. What I've been doing like this past month is like I've switched my schedule. So I won't start working with anyone until after 11 a.m. Like I even know I'm up super early, but I need that time for me. I walk around my house, I'll pull like cards, I make my tea, I clear energy throughout, the house like as well. I'll meditate. I may even, listen to something or whatever it is that I want to do. It's my non-negotiable. I do it the first thing in the morning before the world gets their hands on me and people start becoming demanding and needing my attention and my time and all this stuff. And I don't want to let another person or thing dictate how my day is going to be. Like, I'm going to do that. I'm setting some intentions and stuff by being able to just have some form of a practice. I don't chant. I think I might have chanted maybe one time before, and I don't even remember where that came from. I always said Ganesh, but it's Ganesha. That's cool. I was like, Ganesh, whatever. But I've definitely worked with that energy for removing like obstacles and stuff. And when I did my journey and my leap to Arizona, I definitely leaned in a lot. Like on that energy to work with removing some obstacles or even the things that I felt was an obstacle that ended up really not being. So, channeling that energy is very, very powerful.
And I think there's something really relaxing once you establish a routine. There's a moment when you get started where you go, oh, I know this routine. I know this is relaxing for me. And there was a book, The Relaxation Response, about that, where your endorphins start to flow when you're in a situation where you know you're going to feel good and relaxed. And it's just a nice, comforting ritual.
Yeah. And I just set it up. I was like, look, it's my non-negotiable. I tell myself it's my non-negotiable. So you take your time in the morning and set that, the intentions and it's just something just about having some form of a practice. Something I guess too is probably like because it's yours. It's like you created it. It's yours. It's not that something that someone else said. Now it's great, such as myself or like you'll give ideas to people, right? But we're not saying you have to do this. But hey, let me share my practice. And this is your practice, and this is something else you can do. And now you can just create something of your own, and it's yours. It's your thing, and it's a time for yourself. Because I know a lot of people, and even a lot of the listeners, they're like, I can barely get time to myself, But when you be so intentional to create, like your space and create your practice and say, you know what? I'm going to make this time like for me. And even if you only have 5 minutes, I think that's super important too. If you only have 5 minutes, you might not have a whole 30 or 45 minutes. Or like me, I'm up at like almost 7 and I'm not even really getting started doing anything until 11. I got a few hours, but it hasn't always been like that. But, now it's like, this is my non-negotiable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think at the beginning when I started to meditate, really meditation is most important to me now. It didn't really sink in right away. I would say it took me maybe even a year. And then I realized I can't step out of my house without doing some type of short meditation. It could be a 3-minute meditation, even if I didn't have time, but it never even entered my mind before that I was not myself without doing something to center myself.
Yeah. I can definitely relate to that. Yeah. Lately, I've been just going through a real big, like, energetic, like, shift. I'm like, look, guys, I'm ascending over here. Like, and it's been pretty heavy on me. And I've become even more sensitive to energy. And I work with people. So I'm always pulling in energy and having to make sure that I'm releasing it. But it's just been bit different the past couple of weeks. So something else I've been adding on is I've been staging myself before I step out the house. And I stage myself with the intention. I call in Archangel Michael, but I say, protect me from like the lower vibrations because I know that I'm super sensitive now. And I used to wear black all the time. And my t-shirt line that I had, I would just wear like a lot of black with like the t-shirt with my logos and all this stuff. And it was super cool. And I know that black absorbs energy. And I've had to switch that because I'm like, wait a minute, I'm super fatigued and all. So it's just being mindful. And the more that you start, you create, like, to me anyway, when you create this practice and you're meditating and really starting to, like, even if you're not meditating, but you're just doing something that's your practice, you start to learn so much more about yourself, and it opens it up to those things where just that little thing dropped in and was like, you need to start wearing brighter colors, right? And I started wearing black from a really, really, really long time ago because Janet Jackson on the show Poetic Justice, she said, if you wear black, it makes you look thinner. So that's why I always be wearing black. So it's been in my subconscious mind that I got to wear black because it makes you look thinner. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to put something like, and I'm bi-coastal. I live in Arizona and Virginia. I'm actually in Virginia right now. I go back home tomorrow. But I went into the closet and I was like, I need something light. And I was like, every t-shirt here was black. I was like, oh my God. I said, what was going on with me? Was I in a dark place or something? And I just started thinking, but it had nothing to do with that. It really was just because black makes you look thinner. So I'm like, oh, black is great. Black is great. And I actually had to go to the store and I just bought a bunch of like tops, different colors and stuff. So I'm not absorbing all of that energy because that's just not cool. But yeah, but that was my newest thing, is really calling in Archangel Michael to just protect me and to those low vibrational energies, off of me. Because again, two things: when you step outside into the world, you are inviting so much into your space. And the other thing is when you pick up that phone and you say hello. When you pick up that phone and you say hello, your whole world can change from someone else, something that they say or something that they need or anything of it. So I'll be saging my phone.
That's a good idea.
I do. I sage it and I cleanse it because you just have to think there's just so much there. And even if it's just you're going on social media or you're getting a text message, you have just invited the world into your life and can alter it. And not saying that always has to be in like a negative way. It could be something that brightens you up. And I'm like, I got to put this extra layer of protection on. But that's also a part of my practice. That's a part of my practice now.
That's good advice for me with the phone, to sage my phone. That is really, I feel like that can change my life. I'm not kidding.
Buy more smudge sticks.
I know, because I've always wondered, like, why does this text bother me? It's just a text. Yeah.
Because we don't know what that person's intention was behind it, and everything is energy. We all know that. I think we can all agree that everything's energy. So what's the intention and what's the energy that's being put behind that message that someone is sending you? And also what's going on within you. And of course you can reflect and look within, but then at the same time, it's like, man, if that person's intentions was to make me feel crappy or whatever, and I am exposed because I'm a lot more sensitive now to those lower energies, I'm going to eat that up and it's going to come through. And I'm like, whoo, in that sense, because I'm open. And that's what everyone, you are literally open, you are wide open. So, that's another reason why I think it's important to create some type of practice and create some type of, centering yourself and then protecting yourself. That's the thing, it's protecting yourself. You're getting centered and all that good stuff, and you want to stay that way. A lot more. And of course, and my listeners know, you're not going to always zen and just it's not going to always be like that, because we do have some lessons and some things to learn, but it is important to protect ourselves. But I do want to dive in. So what is the Indigo Sanctuary? First of all, the name is badass. I like it. I told you I've read it. I was like, I like this.
I guess so. Well, indigo is the throat area, the chakra. It's an upper chakra, throat area. I think it has a lot to do, the throat area has a lot to do also with, your heart too, because when you speak from your heart. When you're thinking, you think from your heart. And I guess it's our chakra that we have struggled with. Yeah.
And sanctuary. For sanctuary, I think we really needed to create our own safe space. Yeah. And it was really important to us. So we thought those things summarize what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that you chose the name of something that was a struggle with you, our throat communication, speaking, something that you struggled with, and then also something that you wanted to embody more, which was your sanctuary, versus because this is my favorite thing. And it's no, this is what I want to work on. So what do they say? We teach what we most need to learn, right? So I love that.
And one of the things I think we enjoy the most, that we miss the most, is going out and meeting people and discussing with them, having a practice, having a sanctuary, and communicating it with them. So it's still, I think it's part of what we like the most, is the interaction and the sharing with people.
Yes, yes. And indigo, the throat, blue, bright blue, the indigo actually is the third eye, but the whole blue area. It's very, I think that a lot of times when you talk about struggle, you see darkness, but you see sparks of light. That's when I think of, so the third eye. I was thinking about the throat because of the brightness and entering up into the third eye. Yeah.
So I think sanctuary is rooting the lower chakras, and indigo, as Pam's saying, is the higher chakras. We like the fact that, you have to be stable in your root and be grounded. So when you rise up, you're balanced.
Oh, absolutely. That's such a big, man. I had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in the beginning, I remember getting out, it was a couple birthdays ago. It might have been early in my awakening was end of 2017 and beginning of 2018. So actually it was May of 2018. I was like, you know what, for my birthday, I want to get a Reiki healing done. I want to get Reiki done. And I kept looking all around like for people, and I'm an instant gratification person. So I need it right now. If I want to do this now, I need to find somebody that's available now. And we all know that that's not how the world works in that sense. So my friend had picked me up and we went down to one of our metaphysical stores. And we went to a store and they just happened to have the guy there that does Reiki. And he was doing mini Reiki sessions. I was like, thank you, Spirit. And he was saying my eyes is closed and stuff. He just looked at me. He said, do people come to you with like their problems? And I started laughing because I do sessions, I do readings. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, honey, he was like, all that energy is so all in. You need to get rid of that. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, what do you mean? And then he was educating me on there. So because this is in the beginning, when I was having readings with people, I would never close it out. So as I was channeling and stuff, I just left it. I didn't know to like close it out, to like go and sorry, my gift just opened up. So I had all this different energy that was really just on me. And it was my emotions. I was super tired. I was feeling sick and my emotions were really all over the place. And two things. One, I wasn't grounded. Because I wasn't grounded, like that stuff, I wasn't allowing it to just come through me and just go. It was just being stuck up in there. And then, the other part, I wasn't closing out the session. So I wasn't like thanking their guides and my guides saying like, okay, this is closed now. Like you could leave. And I just had that, on there. So I tell people, I'm like, man, you got to get grounded. Because if not, like as you're going up, it'll take you right on with you. So it's really important to be grounded and rooted in everything, to me anyway.
No. And I think that's why we really love nature, is that we feel most grounded with Mother Earth. And that grounding quality is everything. Otherwise, the chakras can't move upward. And the home sanctuary, that's part of that whole theme. But I'm like you too. My mother trained me to be like a giver, and she never taught me be grounded, even though she was. So I had to learn that, I guess, really in yoga class, but it's not something that was taught to me. It was just something that intuitively, it's so important to be grounded. I agree with you. He's naturally grounded, so I don't know.
But it is funny that certain things can help you. Like Pam said, we're rock hounds, and like ocean granite, where the root chakra and the sacral chakra, because Pam says, I may be grounded, but sometimes the creative juices just take me in a direction and I need to be grounded. I may grab a piece of ocean granite to help ground my creative impulse. So we all have like different needs to ground for different things, and different stones will help.
Yeah, stones. That's what Indigo Sanctuary centers themselves. We center ourselves around is stones, and we find them ourselves. And if we do source from someone, we make sure they're ethically sourced. It's so important. And I think that it's not just for stones, eating local, just not, well, I'm a sensitive person. I didn't even know I was sensitive, but I would feel things and then I'd be so tired. Yeah. Now I'm more aware. But everything has vibration. And if someone is suffering who created that food, it's...
Exactly. I was going to say that. You took it right out of my... I was going to say that. I'm like, look, if I don't eat from just everybody, like, And yes, of course, I will go to like restaurants and stuff too. But I am already connecting and saying, like, guide me to where it is and protect, in it, because I really don't have much control in that sense. I mean, other than controlling the fact if I want to eat there or not. But yeah, if someone is making something and they're going through, something and their vibration is low, or they're struggling onto something, that's what they're cooking with and that's what they're thinking while they're making it. And then I'm going and putting that into my body. Oh, and especially if you're really sensitive, and it can happen with anyone, but when you're even more sensitive, like you're eating that up, you're absorbing that, and you can't. But yeah, even with like you're saying with the stones and the crystals and stuff, I tell people all the time, I'm like, where did it come from? Like, what's behind that? And really, what's behind it? Where is it? Because it's somebody that's just passing off things as like legit, or they're just doing it just for like money, and they're just selling you something into there. And yeah, so I think it's really important. I love that you guys get a lot of it like on your own. I think that's so dope. When I went to Egypt, I was like picking up rocks and stuff from there. I was like, like, come on, like, let's go. Like, it was so like, first of all, I like rocks anyway and stuff. So wherever I'm, or like seashells, if I'm like at the beach or something, I'm always finding like the coolest like shells and stuff, but I'm picking up rocks. But when I was in Egypt, I'm like, yo, I am in Egypt. So the energy, like, first of all, like my rock is better than your rock because this rock came from Egypt. So I think that's awesome to be into there. Oh, tell me about like Nepal. Like, how is that? Like, I'm on my whole traveling thing. I'm like, you know what? That's my non-negotiable. So every year I'm going to host a retreat in the States, and one is going to be in somebody's country somewhere because I just want to travel. So like, if you don't mind, just tell me like, so I can visualize it.
Nepal is just a heartfelt place. The people are just so grounded and heartfelt. And we just love it there. It's very spiritual. And we really have, our friends are like family there now. I've never seen people so open. We weren't really expecting that kind of warmth. And
it just seemed like the universe had us meet our two main friends there. Just our paths crossed. It wasn't like we were looking for them or they were looking for us, but we met Jackie, who's a sound healer, and Tulsi, who's a wood carver. And we struck up friendships, and we communicate with them every couple days, and we share a lot with them, and they teach us about their culture and their beliefs all the time. And we work collaboratively with Tulsi and his family, who are wood carvers, where we'll have an idea and we'll say, what do you think about this? Will you make this? Make it in the Nepali Newari tradition. What do you think? And then they'll make it for us. And then we incorporate our stones with it. Nice. So, we work from thousands of miles away, but it's a great give and take.
Right. And we don't want to be disrespectful to their culture. So if we have an idea, we'll ask them, are you okay with this? We're Americans, and sometimes we don't always think about everything. Exactly. Like, are we taking away from this culture? And we try to do our best not to. So they kind of laugh at us, though, sometimes. Like, what are you talking about?
And that led us to think about how to help. So we asked Tulsi and Jackie, how we as a business could give back. And we do sponsor the education of 2 young girls in Nepal. We pay for all of their education.
Oh, nice.
And we plan to continue it just to help them further their education.
I love that. I think that's beautiful. I've always wanted to, and this was well before I was consciously like aware of like my gifts and spirituality and stuff, but I've always wanted to go and like do like a missionary trip, right? Because I'm like, well, I really don't have the money to really be like donating. But then it was the biggest part was that I don't really want to just donate money. Like I want to like be there. I want to like, build a school. I want to do like teach. And that was always on me, but I never like fed it at all. Cause I was like, whatever, going back, into my world. But it's really been coming up a lot for me. Like I really want to, yes, there's places in our backyard that I can help and do and stuff, but there's just something about going to another country that they don't have it like we have it, in that sense. Yes, we have homeless people, which we should not, but that's a whole other podcast, around there. And yes, we have, children and people that are going, singing hungry and stuff like that. And I definitely get that. And I give where and do where I can. But it's just something about, another country that isn't afforded the things that we take for granted. So I think that that's beautiful to be paying for like the education.
And we get so much back. Talking about our home practice with the Om Ganapataya mantra, when we started learning about it, we spoke to Tulsi about it. And he educated us about it, the mantra. So, we do get so much out of our friendships.
Yes. It's really, if you go, we'll tell you, it's really a wonderful place. Yeah. And Bhaktapur is the town that we spend most of our time in, that we've traveled around Nepal. Bhaktapur, the most time we spend. Yeah. So it's interesting that we like to chant because they do a lot of chanting. I don't think anything's a coincidence. I really don't, especially after working with Jackie and Tulsi in Nepal. I don't think anything's a coincidence. I really do feel that we have known them before. Yeah.
Part of your soul family.
Yeah. It's an odd feeling. I don't quite feel that they were my sons. I really don't. I may be a nephews. That's a funny feeling that you get from someone. And I'm almost like certain, it's like a strange, I never felt that before. Yeah.
I tell people all the time, I say, trust that feeling. You don't have to figure out like, wait a minute, another lifetime, maybe I was your mom. And I'm like, it doesn't even matter. Just know that you have that soul connection and you connected for a reason. And it was like the timing and it's perfect. And that's amazing. So no, I get it. I'm like, yep, it's part of my soul family. I love it. Now we're just going to kick it here on earth and do our thing. So where do you guys live? What state are you in?
Philadelphia. We're in Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I'm originally from Boston, and we've been here for how many years?
If you ever pass through, come and we'll give you a free singing bowl chakra balance at the archery.
I know I will be needing it. The other day, I went and got an intuitive massage, and she incorporates Ayurvedic Reiki. So that was interesting.
Oh,
so then well, first of all, it was my first time I love massages, but getting an intuitive massage, someone that's really like allowing spirit to talk through. So it was amazing. And one of the things she said to me, she was like, wow, you're just so grounded. Oh my gosh, you're so grounded. I was like, yeah, girl, I've been putting in work. It's always like this. No, I was putting in work. But it was cool because a couple of things that came up, like, which I knew, one was like my left hip. And she said it brought tears to her eyes. And she said, and she like almost like forgot to let it go through her, and it just got stuck. It was in her, and she said she just got really teary and stuff. And I was like, oh. And she was saying something about, with me being so grounded. She's like, that's really good. So you'll be able to work through whatever is going on that you're holding into like your left hip. And I was like, oh yeah, trust and believe. I have definitely been putting in the work to keep myself grounded, because I know that there's some things that cellular that's being healed and it's just coming out and stuff, and you have to be in that space. So yes, if I'm coming through heading to New York, I will
Yeah.
hit you guys up. I'll be like, tune
Anytime.
because I know
Yeah.
it. I'll be like, tune, I need it.
Oh.
So how can we like support you guys, and how can we support like the Indigo Sanctuary? Let us know all the goodies, what we can get. I was looking at this. I love crystals and stones, and I put so many people onto that, and they're like, oh my God, I got this and I got that. And they'll be like, what do you think about this? I'm like, if you like it, I like it. Go ahead. Like, I love it. It's a reason that you're being like drawn to that. So share with me.
Well, we welcome people to visit our web, and we try to put a lot of information on the website because we really do want to share information. So people should come visit the website. It's www.theindigosanctuary.com. And in it, we've got a lot of discussions on how sound healing works. What's the science behind sound healing and the chakra system? And we talk about gemstones. We like to talk about the story of our stones. Like, where did we find it? What chakra is it for, or chakras? So there's a lot of information there that we welcome people to come and read. Of course, we would love people to buy our products so we can help support the artisans that we work with in Nepal. If someone has any special requests, we custom malas, and believe it or not, I think we're the only people who have gemstone infused playing sticks for singing bowls.
I never even heard of that. Okay.
Well, we created that because the singing bowls resonate with all the chakras, but they primarily resonate with specific chakras. So we like to coordinate the chakra of a stone with a playing stick that we sell very often with, like a root chakra bowl would have a root chakra stone on the playing stick. And all of the items are Reiki infused as well. So we try to make our things as powerful as they can so they resonate on different levels.
We also do have services. If you do buy a bowl from us, Andy gives lessons on how to play it. And then I teach yin yoga privately, and also help with a home practice, listen to what you're interested in. Like, for example, maybe you need something that is more grounding in your practice, and I can not tell you what to do, but I can give you some suggestions. And then, like you said, it's your choice. Creativity is a wonderful thing. And if you can create it, it gives you so much empowerment.
Absolutely.
So you can do that too. And I don't teach for long periods of time. It's a 45-minute lesson to an hour and 15. And I get you on your way to doing your own home practice. Like, after, let's say, 3 or 5 lessons, I'm like, well, maybe you shouldn't see me for a month or 2.
Because you've always wanted people to have their own practice.
Yes. I think if people had their own home practice, we'd all be our authentic selves and we'd get along a lot better.
Absolutely. I'm always encouraging individuality and just being authentic. And it starts from just the little things. Like, I'll get people all the time, they'll say, hey, what should I do for this? And I'm like, well, I'll tell you what I do. And then I want you to put something, see if it resonates with you, and then add your own spin to it. Because if not, then you're just doing what, in your whole life, you're just doing what everybody else is saying you should do. And I always like to tell people, whenever we use the word should, that's just a belief. Like, you believe that you should be doing that, or by asking me, well, what should I do? That means that I would be telling you what you should do. And I'm like, look, I'm gonna tell you what I do. And I'm gonna give you a couple of ideas or some suggestions, and then, or maybe you'll do what it is that I do, and just to see how it resonates with you, and then you can kind of tweak it and to see how you can make it your own. And I just think that once you make something your own, like, you just embody it even more.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
And it really empowers you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're like, this is my thing. And just know that there's no right or wrong way to create a practice or your practice. You do whatever you want to do, like however long, you want to. I'm like, you can literally do whatever you want to do. I'm like, that's what I do. I just be making up stuff because it feels good, in that sense.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I just wanted to say one thing about that I'm struggling and Andy's struggling with, and we're older, we didn't even grow up with it, is technology. I think we ourselves have to take like breaks from technology. It's really addicting, and a home practice gives you that break too. Like when you do your home practice, your phone should not be in that room, or you should shut it off, or it's hard. So that's just the only thing.
Oh, I would
And
tell
we did want
people
to say something
you
about
have to you definitely have to unplug for sure. That happened to me this morning, honestly. Like I did this really nice meditation around manifesting. It was very intentional and it was clearing out some stuff and it was super good.
yeah,
And then somebody sent me a
yeah.
message and they sent me this voice thing and it was talking about something that was going on with them. And I was like, oh, no, you're not. And I just turned the phone off. I was like, mm-mm. Because I knew it was about to take me out of that space and it was going to play on my own fears. I just shut the phone off. And at that point, I had left the phone off for about 2 hours. I was like, I just started doing other things. And I was like, yeah, you have to unplug, and that you're right. That is something that I do tell people a lot. I'm like, you got to disconnect from the digital stuff, whether it's computer, your phone, just social media, just for a little bit, just to really see. Because it's also hard to know what's your thought and what's your feelings when you're so caught up into like the digital world and the different things that's going on. You really don't even know how you actually feel. Is it yours or somebody else's?
If I could add something, we've been talking a lot about yoga, and we recently did spend some time in India and we practiced yoga there. And we felt deeply that it was the birthplace of yoga that we know.
Mm-hmm.
And given the humanitarian problem that's going on there, we would encourage people, if they're listening and they're inclined, to make a small donation to an organization that's helping in India.
Do you have any that you I was trying to look for my
Well,
pen that you would suggest?
A little boy is, well, how old is he?
There's a 14-year-old. His mother is a Facebook friend of mine, and he started an organization to send masks to India. He started giving masks to men and women in San Francisco experiencing homelessness. And he started with that, and then he moved on. So we recently donated it to him, and
You can tell them.
his website is masksinneed.com, masksinneed.com, Masks in Need. And I can share it with you.
I've just put it into my phone because I want to make sure I put it in the show notes as well.
And also, NPR had a listing of nonprofits that they suggested, and we donated to two. One is Project Hope, which is an international one.
Yeah.
And the other is Khalsa Aid, which is a Sikh organization. And I can send you the links for those as well.
Yeah, yoga's so big in United States, and it's like part of our culture now. But we also have to remember where it came from.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
respect the cultures. Yeah.
Respect the
culture. And it feels
That's
good. And it feels good. It's part of gratitude, I think.
Absolutely. I think I'm really being pushed and called to really get into yoga a lot, just my body wise, because every time I turn around, there's something coming up with yoga, but not in like, oh, of course it is, because everybody's talking about it. It's like in the most like strangest way. I'm like, okay, spirit, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. And I do think that I'm being pushed to start to really incorporate that into my practice. I'm going to listen now, especially because you guys are talking about yoga, because I know that it'll truly benefit.
That's wonderful.
But this has been a great conversation. Like, I love you guys. It's also good to have like a direct connect with like the sound bowls and just like the stones and stuff, because I have people ask me that all the time and I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, your metaphysical store. So because people always come to say, hey, well, who do you know or what do you think? So I think this is great now. And I could be like, oh, I got a plug. Go to them. I've talked to them. Like I vibe with them. I felt that energy.
And people can feel free to email us or to text us, and we're happy to talk.
We are.
I like that, to be able to give like the educational piece, because I think that's super important. Purchasing something, but you can get the edge. Like you say, like on your site, you put a lot of information, on there for people to really like, okay, and kind of like feeling it versus like just buying this, but you get to see the story behind it. I'm all for a good story. behind something.
Well, that's why we like listening to you so much. You're a great communicator. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, I will tell a story in a heartbeat. I'll be like, let me tell you this. I mean, I just think, experience is the greatest teacher, right? So you sharing that story or sharing like just that experience and stuff, you could really be able to bring it into person like, oh, okay. I get it. I don't like to talk at a person and tell them this is what this is. Nah, I'm gonna give you this story and then I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna bring it back and I'm gonna tell you why I shared that story and how you could relate it to like yourself. But no, this has been great. So I'm gonna make sure that everything is in the show notes and all of that good stuff.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
All right, have a good one, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to Seeing with Your Soul. If something you heard resonated with you, feel free to rate, review, and share with others. If you are looking to go deeper, you can connect with Tisha Michelle on Instagram at Mindset Slayer or visit www.healingalignedglow.com.